This is a castle in the German boondocks, like a good 30-minute drive from any autobahn infrastructure. The town it's located in is home to all of, and I kid you not, 176 residents, according to Wikipedia anyways. Yet it's known the world over, and this is because it lends its name to our country's fastest, most challenging mountain road. Yes, over the years they dressed it up with fences, curbs, and quote-unquote runoff, so it can kinda sorta pass as a racetrack, but in essence, it remains the insane mountain road built in the 1920s. So Porsche gave me the keys to a graphite blue metallic, 420 horsepower, 500 Newton meter, twin turbo 911 Carrera 4S. Optioned with all the performance bits, PCCB, PDCC, PT, all the Porsche Ps, it's got it all. Well anyways, Porsche invited me to join them for the Sportauto-Nordschleife Perfektionstraining. So in this video I will review the Porsche. The Nordschleife is such a bumpy track, but the Porsche is handling it so well. Oh, the way it turns in now, this is just beautiful. Chocolate bar, there we go. And showcase professional self-restraint on camera. Brake before, jump, brake after, downshift. This is full throttle, are you freaking kidding me? The amount of traction you have in the 4S is unheard of. For the event, many very, very cool cars are divided into groups which gather on the 2.6 kilometer Döttinger Höhe Straight, and our group's instructor is Porsche's tire whisperer Timo Kluck. Yes, of course it's the guy with the racing loafers, with the racing boat shoe, whatever. So what's gonna happen here is we're gonna do lead follow on the Nürburgring-Nordschleife, which is gonna be the 19.1 kilometer configuration, so essentially it's bridge to gantry.
Dann einlenken. Schaltung ist relativ am Ende der Kurve.
This is the craziest part of the track probably. This and Schwedenkreuz. The Fuchsröhre compression. Oh, compression! Absolutely crazy! Oof. Fuchsröhre is much easier in a 911 than it is in a hot hatchback. The way the car just is utterly unimpressed by everything happening, and I love how it's super easy to control the weight shifts. We have PDCC, so hard brakes. Roll off the brake, and it is super easy to control the pitch of the car. Super easy. PDCC and PCCB. I haven't tried the steel brakes yet. If you can afford it, just get PCCB though. Just get it, because I can verify on a 27.5 degrees Celsius day, PCCB will not fade. Not even a tiny, not at all, not at all. Miss it, hit, and no patience. Before I hit that, I was on full throttle. And the ABS configuration, the ABS setup is... Before the traction and power overwhelmed me there once again, I was going to say that you can just brake right into the ABS. It actually feels that good, and the pedal communicates the grip levels to the point. This is probably the fastest I've ever done X-Mühle. And when you start pushing and pushing and pushing, the 4S is just fabulous. It does move about, but it moves about in a capacity where you can feel there's stuff happening, but it's still very composed and planted, and the way it... Oh, and now that we have proper tire pressure, it's just full throttle through Kesselchen. Here I'm gonna lift a bit, turn in, be smooth, and on the exit go back on it. And 220, this is where we lose the 718s. And already 230. In a hatchback you end up going 200 up there. Hard brakes, Mutkurve. And the transition from braking hard, coming off the brakes smoothly, it is just unbelievable. Oh, come on! I'm gonna need freak out control once more. Oh my God! I do apologize. The transition from braking hard to just hammering the gas pedal is what I meant there. That was the unbelievable part. Enjoy the carousel run. That's a very good carousel exit. It is such a rush to drive this track in the Carrera 4S. It is making itself very approachable, very easy to drive, but that does not mean it can't also pose a challenge if you go very, very fast. As we approach Hohe Acht, which is the highest point of the Nürburgring-Nordschleife and goes down to Hedwigshöhe, turn in, lamppost, full throttle, bang! And the way it shifts over this massive bump is just awesome. It does not care. And the curbs, yes. Lamppost and full throttle. Enormous traction, hard on the brakes. Come off the brakes smoothly and controlling the pitch unbelievably easy. Good brakes, turn in, clip the apex. Good brakes, lamppost. And it is ridiculous how early you can go full throttle. It is just unbelievable. It is just magical driving the 4S on the Nürburgring. This is motorsports heaven, and the Carrera is actually a very cool Nordschleife body. It is so difficult to drive this quickly and talk. Trust me, it is so difficult. Stefan Belloff is such a crazy corner, and I'm supposed to be reviewing the Carrera here. It is not a great idea. It's the best idea, but it's also not a great idea. I've done it before, and every time it's a bit crazy. You can do it, it's just eloquent is not in your vocabulary anymore. And if this wasn't a PG-13, a family-rated show, I would completely lose my shit. Leaving mini carousel usually causes significant traction problems, but not so in the 4S. You just hammer on the gas pedal, and it's not even going to ESP. You don't see anything blinking away. It just goes to mechanical traction. And the G-forces are super high. The car grips so much. There's the Gentry, Audi Sport Gentry. And it's always, you get to relax for a second or two. Okay. Turns out these cars feel almost exactly the same on track as they do on the road, except everything happens with much greater velocity. Even if you make the car go through green hell and back, the 911 does not care. The suspension and all-wheel drive system simply adjust to the task at hand, tackling the numerous undulations such as the Spiegelkurve dip or the massive off-camber bump right after Hohe Acht without any problems at all. For the X-Mühle uphill right-hander, it turns in aggressively and the four-wheel drive system splits the massive torque of the 3-liter motor almost surgically over the mid-corner camber change. And this is good news, because if you mess it up,
Beim Rauchbeschleuniger ist eine kleine Welle in der Bahn. Das Auto, wenn du voll beschleunigst, geht hinten ab. Auto geht quer, kommt auf, kriegt vollen Grip und biegt ab. Das ist wirklich der Klassiker, deswegen sage ich in der Ecke immer, Leute, passt bitte auf, ja? Okay, also darauf achten und dann hier wieder folgen.
Usually I drive the Nordschleife in hatchbacks, 200, 300 horsepower. And you can go much faster in this, and it's not that much more difficult. This car makes you look good. This is not going to be a very popular opinion, but PDK is just the best transmission. And the manual transmission is actually a very cool manual transmission. But this is better. This is performance oriented, and it frees up all of this brain capacity to talk to you while hooning the Nürburgring-Nordschleife, to focus on my lines, miss, hit, miss, full throttle, there you go. There are no noticeable weight shifts, i.e. you can shift mid-corner, which makes some corner exits faster. Yeah, the limiter is very soft, it's awesome, and the PDK reacts immediately. Auto mode is 110% flawless, if you drive with a sense of urgency. Back it off to 7/10, and early upshifts sometimes do lead to performance robbing downshifts. The back end rotates exactly as much as you expect it to for the Wippermann and Brünnchen one-corner entries, but for the most part, the car just stays neutral and goes where you point it. The Porsche spec N1 P0s are sticky street tires that will happily allow for 3 proper hot laps before turn and understeer, as well as early and more frequent ABS activation sets in. Like after 3 seconds, this is seriously uncomfortable. Give them 10 minutes to cool off and they're golden again. What impressed me the most though was how rapidly the 4S settles after the Schwedenkreuz crest, and then even though I was never aware of the rear axle steering, I just have to believe it is working some proper magic if you can turn in at the 5km sign at 180 km an hour, and the 911 doesn't even break a sweat. This changes to some degree when you see Timo driving the 4S in just a few minutes. After the morning session on the second day, the temporary car park on Döttinger Höhe was closed down during the drivers' meeting. Be nice to one another and don't be complete idiots. That was essentially the instruction we got for the open pit lane session of the day. This time though, Timo and I went on track alone, with just our loaner 911s, which, trust me, was so epic it necessitates slow motion car entering and dramatic music. Brake, jump, brake, in, and immediately full throttle. This is freaking crazy. This is, oh my god, the way it shifts over that bump. This one, again, Pflanzgarten 2, down to Stefan Belloff S. I'm gonna go crazy here. I'm very close to losing my mind. This is now so awesome. 220, coming up to Schwalbenschwanz. Hard brakes. Oh my god! Goosebumps everything! This is now properly crazy! This is now properly and utterly crazy! And PDK in full auto mode! Woohoo! Yes, baby! And now, actually for the first time ever, I get to do Döttinger Höhe the full length, which is gonna, race cars can go as fast as 330, 340. Oh my god! This is something so special! Never have I had so much fun in a car! Never have I had so much fun in a motor car! Oh, come on! Into Hatzenbach! Now this is gonna be the Hatzenbach-Geschlinge! This is such an awesome sports car! You go to the Porsche dealer, well, you do have to give him like 130,000 euros, but you get a track-ready car that is super comfortable, and here just PDCC in full aggressive mode as we approach Flugplatz at 220. He brakes before the crest. That freaks me out just a little bit because I learned differently, but it works. I have a feeling this Schwedenkreuz run is gonna be properly crazy. Properly crazy. Oh, come on, Timo. Woo! 254 over Schwedenkreuz. 254 over Schwedenkreuz. Going like 2 car lengths apart. When do you never get to do this stuff? I'm sorry, my English is failing me. My speech is quite impaired right now. 230, Fuchsröhre. Yes, brother! Yes, brother! Whenever I get to drive the Nordschleife, my excitement level always gets pushed past 11, but it reached new heights in the 4S. The precise turn-in and mid-corner grip redefined my understanding of what balance actually means, and hammering out of corners was so impressive every single time. The 911's approach is precision and meticulous drivability, and it's the resulting speed and G-forces that make up the experience, because, as I've learned, speed exponentially intensifies the sensory overload on the Nürburgring.
Alles gut, ich amüsiere mich, mein Freund. Volle Möhre am Brennen.
With Timo behind the wheel, you can see just how broad that window of neutral stability is before that thing happens where you can see the front skipping slightly because the tires are being worked at their absolute limit.
Geil, was so ein Serienauto wirklich kann, oder? Also ich meine jetzt. Ja, das Auto. Das ist ein Päckchen. Ja, aber trotzdem, das Auto ist schon gut. Das Auto ist geil. Ja, absolut. Alles gut, Junge, oder schlägt deine GoPro an der Scheibe an, oder was haben wir? Nee, die ist weg, alles gut. Es würde mir zwar am Blut liegen, Mercedes zu überholen, aber wir tun es natürlich nicht, weil wir so raus.
Timo, es ist einfach grandios.
Danke.
Es ist einfach grandios. Ich bin auch noch nie mit jemandem gefahren, der schnell fährt.
Okay.
Der fahren kann.
Okay.
Also auch mit mir selbst.
Du gar nicht so schlecht für die erste Nordschleifentraining, oder?
Ja. Stell dir das mal vor, kommt hier einer an und ballert danach so 20 Runden. Ja, das passt. Ich mach das schon. Au, Ruhe, ey. Leck mich die Bretter. With the Nürburgring out of my system for the day, I was able to drive the 4S on the road with an almost zen-like approach for my standards. But that's a story for another day.